Is now in sight. On Capitol Hill late last night, a handful of Democrats voted with Republicans on a plan to reopen the government. There are still a few more steps before it takes effect, but it's a promising breakthrough. House Speaker Mike Johnson said this morning the House should vote as soon as possible. NTD's Melina Weiskup reports.
Late Sunday night, senators broke a lengthy stalemate over government funding. 8 Democrats joined Republicans to advance a bill that will reopen the government after 40 days shut down.
Now, I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement, but waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome. It would only...
Part of the deal will require Republican leadership to hold a December vote on extending Obamacare subsidies. The vote may or may not pass due to lack of Republican support.
As everybody here knows, that is a totally meaningless gesture. You can get 100 votes here in the Senate. Won't mean anything because the House is not going to take it up.
Republican leaders in both chambers have said that the bipartisan negotiations will continue as they work out a new deal on Obamacare reforms.
These senators are not interested in political games. They're interested in finding real ways to address health care costs for American families. We also have a president who is willing to sit down and get to work on this issue.
Without a guaranteed outcome, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer did not support the deal to reopen the government. Last night's vote was the first step towards reopening. Senators will now attach a new bill to fully fund a few non-controversial aspects of government: military construction, Veterans Affairs, the Department of Agriculture, and the legislative branch. It also includes a stopgap measure to fund the rest of the government through January 30th. House lawmakers will return to Washington this week after nearly 2 months. The new bill is expected to easily pass the lower chamber. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Melina Weiskup, NTD News.
Global shares rose today. Investors were optimistic after the Senate moved forward with a measure to reopen the government. Wall Street's main indexes opened higher this morning. The S&P 500 gained 1%, while Nasdaq advanced 1.6%. The Dow Jones climbed 250 points, or about 0.5%. Here's more on the market reactions.
Sunday's breakthrough helped push Nasdaq futures up over 1.2%. Asian markets were up Monday after the open. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan rose 1.36%, and Japan's Nikkei was up a similar amount, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index jumped 1.5%. The positive trend spread to Europe, where shares were also up. The Pan-European Stock 600 climbed 1.1% in early trade. The shutdown has taken a growing toll on the US economy. Federal workers from airports to law enforcement and the military have gone unpaid, while the central bank deals with limited government reporting of economic data. White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett warned the country's fourth quarter GDP could be negative if the shutdown dragged on.
Air travel across the United States is in turmoil as the government shutdown triggers massive flight cancellations and delays. According to flight tracking website FlightAware, more than 1,600 flights have been canceled so far today, with another 3,300 delayed. More than 2,700 flights were canceled yesterday and over 10,000 delayed, marking the worst day of travel disruptions since the shutdown began. The FAA continues to grapple with severe staffing shortages in air traffic control towers across the nation. Delta Airlines has been particularly hard hit, canceling or delaying more than half of its mainline flights. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said earlier the FAA would not cut any international flights, as it would be a violation of international agreements. Here's a Southwest airline pilot urging passengers yesterday to call their senators. Watch.
I don't really care what your political persuasion is, but you should really call your senator. Because I'll tell you, this is costing the airlines millions of dollars. And just think of 30 airplanes with one engine running. And it's going to take us at least 90 minutes to take off. So right now we're at a 4% reduction in flight capacity. Next week we go to 10. Last night I had a 6-hour delay in Houston, and the weather was perfect. It's because the air traffic controllers aren't getting paid.
As flight cancellations continue, President Trump is asking air traffic controllers to return to work today. Government-directed flight cuts and air traffic staffing absences continue to affect U.S. air travel. Trump says, quote, all air traffic controllers must get back to work, adding that he will be recommending a bonus of $10,000 per person for those who didn't stop working during the government shutdown. The president says the people who didn't work during the shutdown did a disservice to their country. He added that workers would have gotten paid despite the issues in Congress. A federal appeals court has upheld an order requiring the Trump administration to fully fund November SNAP benefits. The First Circuit